Today News Update.
This is your Barbados Today evening news update for Thursday, June 30th. So glad you can join us. Two families are tonight trying to come to grips with the sudden death of their loved ones following a shooting incident at Orange Cottage, St. Joseph on Wednesday night. The body of 20-year-old Tyrese Caesar of Durance Christchurch was discovered outside the cottage bar and grill, while the body of 34-year-old Trey Harris of French Village, St. Peter, was found at Hostel St. Joseph around 11:30 p.m. when police responded to a report from the area. Another man, 19-year-old Seth Towler of Headings St. Philip, was also injured and taken to the Queen Elizabeth Hospital for treatment. Caesar's grandmother, who spoke to Barbados Today, says he was her only grandchild and the family has been thrown into a state of shock and sadness. When Barbados Today visited French Village, St. Peter, Harris's relatives opted not to speak. Police investigations into these latest homicides are continuing. In other news, the Women in Action Network has given government a 7-day deadline to produce what they say is a promised departmental inquiry on the government industrial school. During a press conference this morning, the spokesperson for the group said the Minister of Home Affairs had given an undertaking that the report would be available by June 15.
We want to ask the minister to keep it very real. We are busy women. We have businesses to run. We have children to see about, families and communities to care for. Do not bring back any report that does not substantially address the physical and sexual abuse allegations made by those girls, nor a report that does not speak to the involvement of the staff of GIS in incidences of abuse. If you do, you will force us to ask direct questions about acts allegedly committed by hardback men and women who were supposed to be protecting our children. We are pleased with your statement that the report will be coming soon. You have the opportunity to make any revisions to ensure it covers the critical areas mentioned.
She said the group will continue pressing for change.
We're not going to stop praying. We're not going to stop marching. We're not going to start advocating until change comes. And we are giving the minister 7 days until the 7th day of this 7th month that is coming to address the critical areas in his report on the inquiry that was undertaken. If we get no response from the minister by that time, we will be forced to ask him to respond to specific allegations that we have on record from former wards and staff.
Barbados's COVID-19 death toll climbed to 477 following the passing of an 89-year-old female who was fully vaccinated. She died on Wednesday. Meanwhile, the island recorded 326 new COVID-19 cases, comprising 79 females and 247 males. The cases were recorded from the 823 tests conducted by the Best dos Santos Public Health Laboratory on Wednesday. Of the positive cases, 21 persons were under the age of 18 and 305 were 18 years and older. The number of people in isolation facilities is 38, while 1,229 people are in home isolation. The country has recorded a total of 84,421 COVID-19 cases. Countries need to prepare their health systems to address the long-term impact of post-COVID conditions, commonly known as long COVID. The appeal from a director of the Pan American Health Organization, Dr. Caricia Etienne, who pointed out that those with pre-existing conditions are particularly at risk of post-COVID conditions.
Many patients, whether they experience mild, severe, or critical COVID-19, continue to experience COVID-like symptoms for 3 months or more after their initial infection. These are the people with post-COVID condition, also referred to as long COVID. Some studies have estimated that 10 to 20% of people who had COVID may develop this post-COVID conditions. Considering the millions of confirmed COVID-19 cases worldwide, hundreds of thousands of people may well be affected. This is a particularly important problem for the Americas, where we have reported over 161 million COVID-19 cases over the past 2 years. It is difficult to be precise about how many people are affected, since cases of post-COVID condition are not always officially reported.
She explained that post-COVID conditions can be extremely debilitating.
But we know that people who had underlying health conditions, people who did not get vaccinated against COVID-19, people with other risk factors such as asthma, and those who smoke or vape are particularly at risk for this condition. We also know that people that had COVID once and recovered may still develop post-COVID condition if they are infected again. The post-COVID condition can be extremely debilitating. The most common symptom is severe and persistent fatigue. People may also experience shortness of breath, loss of taste and smell, and other respiratory, cognitive, and sensory symptoms. All of this can impact a person's mental health and influence important aspects of their personal and professional lives, including the ability to relate with the environment and the people around them.
Regional and international news coming up after this short break.
Pure oxygen is way more than just water. We infuse pristine water with over 1 billion tiny oxygen bubbles using our state-of-the-art process. The benefits of additional oxygen are huge, from strengthening your immune system to increasing energy levels, stamina, and sports performance. And that's not all. It also improves skin health, helps you sleep better, and reduces stress. Join the movement of people experiencing the benefits of pure oxygen. It's not hype, it's science.
To regional developments now, Grenada's newly elected Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell is promising to put an end to nepotism in the public sector.
Particularly as it relates to the government service in all aspects, whether it be police, teachers, nurses, doctors, the cooks at our schools. We need to run our country based on merit, based on hard work, based on the desire and the willingness to overcome and to find solutions to the challenges that face us. We will not move forward or prosper as a people if the sole basis for job selection, for promotion, for the award of contracts is party loyalty or personal loyalty. If we continue with this approach, we will be doing ourselves and the several generations of Grenadians to come a huge disfavor. And so under my leadership, I intend to break that vicious cycle of nepotism.
And finally, on the international front, the scale of needs caused by Russia's invasion of Ukraine is still massive, and human rights concerns persist. That's according to United Nations humanitarians who repeated calls for access to the country's Black Sea ports in a bid to export vital needs. Humanitarian coordinator for Ukraine, Osnat Lubrani, gave the update on Thursday.
Almost 16 million people in Ukraine today need humanitarian assistance, water, food, health services, a roof over their heads, protection. These are conservative numbers that the United Nations is in the process of revising now. Since 24th of February, the UN and humanitarian partners have provided life-saving assistance to nearly 9 million people in every single region of Ukraine. Nearly 2 million have received cash assistance and are able to make their own choices to meet their basic needs. We could not deliver relief items, relief supplies, or access or be able to access Kherson. We could not deliver relief supplies or have access to Mariupol. We could not support any sort of assistance and have not even managed to have the parties to agree on safe passages to evacuate people from Severodonetsk so that they could move in the direction of their choice.
That's news, but for the very latest, visit us at www.barbadostoday.tv. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media and bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you, and Capital Media HD.